Kamal Mitra Chuna of the Aam Aadmi Party is taking on Siddharth Singh of the BJP. Siddharth, good evening. Now, what's the proof that this was a stunt by the Aam Aadmi Party? Throwing of eggs at Arvind Kejriwal, or the splashing of ink, or the ink attack? What's the proof of that? And if you don't have the proof of that, would you like to just apologize on behalf of your party at the irresponsible comments that have been made by a series of BJP spokespersons suggesting that the ink attack could have been a stunt, an internal stunt of the AAP?
Well, Arnav, is there a proof that it was the BJP worker who did it? I don't think there is a proof.
Is there a proof that there was an Aam Aadmi Party person who was doing that? Arvind Kejriwal organized the attack on himself?
When Rakhi Birla visited one of the colonies and her windscreen got broken, where did they point the finger? BJP. And when we realized it, later in the reports came, there was a boy who was playing cricket. His ball went and hit the windscreen.
That's dangerous, you know,
no,
your
it's
argument.
Not dangerous.
Your argument is dangerous too. Your argument is terribly dangerous. You know, you should actually take a position today against all these cowards who throw eggs and throw ink.
Now, it is dangerous the way the Aam Aadmi Party is playing the
politics is this?
To hype their visit, because they are so shallow on the content and substance. They have nothing else, but they want to remain in the media, and therefore they can plan anything. And let me also correct. Mr. Jaitley,
you are working on the principle of speculation, Siddharth Singh. Your business is that of speculation.
Arnav, there is no speculation. There is absolutely no speculation. The level to which the politics has been brought in this election by Aam Aadmi Party by spit and run, accused, have no proof. That is the level which they are reducing this politics in this 2014, which is shameful.
Fine, okay. Now, so my question to the Aam Aadmi Party is this, that on what proof did Kejriwal say there that Narendra Modi's Gundas organized this ink attack and the egg attack on us? Boy, where's the proof?
Well, it's only a circumstantial bit of evidence.
Where's the circumstantial evidence?
When this happened at Jantar Mantar, the person who'd been hanging out at our office was actually from the BJP. But I'd like to make a different point. I think despite the differences that the BJP and we have, there should be a certain code of conduct amongst us so that the level of politics does not follow.
What about the code of conduct on Arvind Kejriwal, who had just 15,000 people before him today, and who said before those people that it is the BJP, it is Narendra Modi's goons who have organized the egg attack and the ink attack on me? Where's the proof of that? Should Arvind Kejriwal begin by apologizing for not having the facts to prove that
both sides are doing it, and I wish as a political scientist that they didn't. Because it is very difficult to get...
You're a member of the Aam Aadmi Party.
No, but the fact of the matter is...
Are you embarrassed at the kind of comments that have been made by Arvind Kejriwal today? Do you agree? Why aren't you answering Siddharth Singh directly? Do you agree that Siddharth Singh there has some substance when he says that there is a history of stunts in the Aam Aadmi Party, and your track record puts a certain question mark over what's happening?
The attack at Jantar Mantar was no stunt. And in fact, what Aam Aadmi did was to say, please don't have a police case against that young man. And this happens in politics.
You're talking about the attack in which there was ink thrown at Yogendra Yadav.
That's right.
So you're saying that was orchestrated by the BJP?
No, I'm not saying that. But this was a person who had its leanings, but we tried deliberately to avoid it being politicized.
What leanings?
In a partisan
leanings?
He was quite, when he was questioned, he was quite right-wing, but we said these things happen.
Right-wing in what sense? He was a BJP member?
I don't think anyone asked him if he was a BJP member. But he clearly wasn't an AAP member, so this was an attack from outside. But basically the thing is, suppose someone throws ink at you while you're walking down the road. How do you prove that it was X party or Y party? That is why I think...
Then why did Kejriwal make that comment that Modi's goons threw ink on me?
Because of the history... To attract attention? No, the history of other things... No,
to attract attention, to hit the headlines, to be there in prominence. Come on, Professor Kamal Mitra Chenoy. That's the direct charge that Siddharth Singh put it to it. I think it's high time you respond to it.
I'll
because otherwise he's wanting to come back.
I'll respond to it.
Let me add another...
Anand Kumar, who you saw on the screen right now, is an alumnus of Banaras Hindu University. He taught in Banaras Hindu University. He wanted to make a speech in BHU. He was not allowed to do so, though people like Amit Shah and others had a free run of BHU. So given all that, Kejriwal thinks that when there are attacks, the most likely group to attack him are the BJP RSS. And therefore, I don't think it was purely out of his hat that he took this out, but because of the history of what has been happening in Varanasi and before
Mr.
that.
Yes, Siddharth, you're satisfied with that reply?
Proof. You couldn't give a circumstantial proof. Let me give you one. Yesterday, Mr. Kejriwal tweets that the BJP is going to do hooliganism, vandalism, and there's going to be a law and order problem. So you start provocating, you try to create a media hype before even landing anything, and then you say that the BJP is responsible. This is a circumstantial
But the BJP has done this before, so what's wrong with the surmise?
Yourself create a hype which is not a reality. When you land up, you ask your own people to do this thing so that you get a media attention and you get a focus, because when you come to Varanasi, you have no substance to talk to the people of Varanasi or attack Gujarat model or attack Mr. Modi or BJP. That is the reason you create this hype.
We had this hype before we came to Varanasi. We had that hype in Delhi. We have that hype in Bangalore. We have that hype in Mumbai. I think Mr. Siddharth Singh, you are caught up in the cocoon of ideology, which is the Sangh Parivar.
You didn't have volunteers from Varanasi. It's a proof. Every newspaper has written about it. Now don't say that BJP and Modi has bought all the media.
No, you make this point now, Siddharth. Before I close, I'm making this point to you. Criticize Arvind Kejriwal as much as you want. You say he puts out a tweet yesterday saying the possibility of some kind of attempts by the BJP to disrupt my activities in Varanasi, and today somebody throws ink on him. You are suggesting that he put out a tweet yesterday and then all night he planned how to carry out the ink attack on himself so as to prove his tweet right? Is this the kind of, I'm sorry to say, ridiculous argument that Siddharth Singh, a well-informed person like you, is putting on the Newshour tonight?
Aam Aadmi Party doesn't play this kind of politics. It's fighting you in 7 constituencies in Delhi. Has anyone criticized Aam Aadmi Party for doing that to the BJP?
So let me ask you this. My question to you is, when a shoe thrower, you reward a shoe thrower called Jarnail Singh, whose only claim to fame is that he threw a shoe at Chidambaram. And then you say it was all right, it was only a symbolic protest. My question to you is, and everyone wants to know this, a person who throws a shoe at Chidambaram is rewarded with an Aam Aadmi Party ticket from one of the constituencies of Delhi. 1 minute. You reward people who throw shoes at others.
Why did Jarnail Singh throw a shoe?
No, 1 second. Do you feel that you need to reward people whose only claim to fame is that they throw shoes at ministers?
That wasn't his only claim to fame.
Well,
the question
was that his principal claim to fame or not? Kamal Mitra Chenoy, be honest tonight.
I am being honest, but you must give me a chance to give the reason.
Is it true or not that the person, first of all, is it true or not that the person who threw a shoe at Chidambaram was rewarded with an Aam Aadmi Party ticket?
Why did he throw a shoe at Chidambaram? Not because he was against the budget. So he threw a shoe because he was a Sikh, and hundreds of Sikhs had been killed in Delhi, and they had not got justice.
And there is no other way of making a point. A professor from Jawaharlal Nehru University, one of India's best respected academics and a member of the Aam Aadmi Party, is sitting with me in my studio and saying there is no other way for a person to make a point in a civilized country than to throw a shoe at somebody else. Is that what you're saying? Do you actually believe that? Or are you tonight, Kamal Mitra Chenoy, held back and harnessed by the pulse and strings of being a member of the Aam Aadmi Party? Please answer that.
Well, the simple thing is that there are ways of protest. The shoe is not the best way. But you look at the charade in Delhi about investigation into the Sikh riots of 1984. So if he was moved to throw the shoe, because his people were killed, they were burnt alive, women were raped. I mean, what is this?
In that case, somebody will say, Siddharth will respond, and before that we'll close. Somebody will turn around and say that somebody was moved to throw ink. Somebody will say somebody was
in broad daylight. He threw it. Everyone knew who he was. They saw the shoe. And I think, to be quite honest, the shoe did much less damage to Chidambaram than Chidambaram has done to the Indian economy.
It's a subject of humor. I think it's something to be very concerned about. Siddharth,
I will only add what Mr. Jaitley said in the press conference today when he was asked this question. He said, let's not reduce the politics to this level. Let's not stoop. It is condemnable. But the problem here is, Arnab, before they point fingers, they must look at themselves, what in the past their actions have been. And therefore, circumstantial evidences always show towards this media hype which Aam Aadmi want.
That's only if you gather the circumstantial evidence.
Now, gentlemen, I'll pull out those pictures today of what happened with Arvind Kejriwal. We'll play them full frame. And I just want to say one thing to all the Newshour viewers tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put those pictures out on your screen. At 12:45 p.m., when Arvind Kejriwal is there in Varanasi, eggs are thrown at him. At 2:55 p.m., ink is thrown at Kejriwal and his supporters. Now, I know that this is going to be a tough election, but this cannot be the index of any election. This can be not something or not an issue on which political parties can fight. This can happen to anyone, a layperson or a politician. Ink throwing is not the politics this country's people deserve. Think about it. Food for thought. Thank you very much, Professor Siddharth Nath Singh, for joining me on this debate. And I'm back in a couple of minutes on the Newshour Tonight.